Lana Beniko.
Dark Lord. An honor, as ever. And how fares the Dark Council?
Forget about the Dark Council. I'd much rather discuss how you've been since we last met.
I see you haven't changed. Good.
Not interrupting anything, am I? Just kidding, I don't really care.
Hello, Theron.
Is that a good hello or a bad one? Outside of Lana, I can never tell with you Imperial types.
You've shown you want the Revanites stopped as much as anyone. That makes you an ally.
Good. Glad we're clear on that front, because here we go. The Revanites are here, on Rishi. That's why we led you here under false pretenses. They can't know we're onto them. We need you to go out there and make life hard for the Revanites' allies, the Nova Blades.
If the Revanites are operating out of Rishi, then it stands to reason their leader is here.
That's our suspicion too, but we can't say for sure just yet. From what we've been able to gather, the Revanites' agents in the Empire and Republic have been feeding the Nova Blades intel on ship activity. The Blades then use that intel to ambush military patrols and key shipping lanes on both sides. They're essentially remapping hyperroutes. Hate to admit it, but I haven't been able to remotely slice the Blades' computers. I have to have their security shut down.
The trouble is, we can't have any suspicion raised that our attack is related to the Revanites' activities.
So I am meant to be some base pirate who has a beef with the Nova Blades?
Yeah, you've got it exactly. Bust up their operations, get their attention, make yourself look legitimate, and then go for the throat.
We have a trusted source who's determined that the Nova Blades base, a wrecked ship called the Aggressor, contains their entire security apparatus. That's our final target.
And who might that be?
Someone you already know.
Two someones, if we're being precise.
We'll place you in range of the first Nova Blade target. That's where our source is waiting.
It really is good to see you again.
Been hiding out a long time. It's nice to see someone who isn't a complete stranger. Good luck out there.
Yes. May the Force serve you well.
I'd say the Nova Blades are properly distracted, wouldn't you?
That would be an understatement. Theron's been monitoring communications. You've caused quite a stir.
Want some gratification? Here, check this out. Just recorded.
They're blasting on my supplies, my foot soldiers, taking my workers. What are you people prepared to do about it?
This appears to be your problem, not ours.
How would you like it if I made it your personal problem? Give me Revan. I want to talk to Revan.
No, I don't think so.
You don't put Revan on. The Nova Blades stop rerouting galactic traffic. That ain't negotiable.
Revan.
Commodore Margok, are you threatening to alter the terms of our deal? I paid you to do a job and you've done it well, but that's over now. I no longer have any use for your Nova Blades.
Hey, I know Torch and her Mandalorian clan up and left us, but the Blades still got a lot to offer.
Not if you don't have your own house in order. Put an end to the upstart causing you trouble, and I'll consider resuming our alliance.
You really did it. You got them running scared.
Margok mentioned Mandalorians. Do you know anything about that?
Heard the name Torch before, but not much else. I'm looking into it.
The Nova Blades still have an impressive roster of hardened criminals at their disposal, and the Aggressor is still heavily fortified.
The Aggressor's their headquarters. You've seen it. A crashed ship Margok turned into a fortress. Can't get in without the proper security codes.
That won't be a problem for me.
We'll get Jakaro to lend a hand all the same.
If nothing else, the activity will keep him from picking apart D4 any further.
What have we learned from the Aggressor?
Very little, I'm afraid. It would appear someone took it upon themselves to corrupt much of the data as a last resort.
It's a real mess, getting fragments but nothing incredibly coherent. The one thing that does keep turning up is the Mandalorian Margok brought up earlier, the one they call Torch.
What about her?
Well, it looks like Torch and Margok were thick as thieves for a while, then something happened. Had to do with the Revanites. Don't really know the details, but it looks like Torch moved her whole clan to another island here on Rishi. I've got the coordinates.
Jakaro, ready your ship. I'll go see what this Torch has to say for herself.
I'm sending Jakaro out on a scouting run. I've made local arrangements for your transportation should he not return in time.
Wow. You've been busier than I thought.
Get whatever information you can from the Mandalorians. With any luck, they'll lead us to the Revanites.
Dark Lord. Moff Pyron ready to report.
What do you have for me, Pyron?
Your apprentice Ashara briefed me on the order of Revan. We are discreetly sweeping for infiltrators in your ranks.
Good.
If I may, I've also prepared a briefing on current military operations. I'll endeavor to be quick. As for the Cylinder campaign, Darth Mar is coordinating the Joint Armada with minimal losses. That does raise the issue, however. Our silencer fleet killers are underperforming as the Republic adapts tactically and technologically. We may be able to refine the silencer cannons further, but their radiation output will begin to kill our own gunners. Shall we proceed?
The silencers served us well, but there's no use clinging to obsolete technology at our people's expense.
Yes, Dark Lord. There is also the question of Alzar. Darth Ravage still believes the natives hold no value and expands rapidly into their territory. Your overseers on Korriban believe the Alzarians might be trained as Sith, but to recruit them now could make an enemy of Ravage.
Let Ravage whine at the next council meeting. The Empire needs allies, not resentful colonies.
As you wish. One last order of business. I understand you're on Rishi. Normally, I wouldn't bother you with trivialities, but...
Speak, Pyron.
You have a servant there by the name of Lord Vigil. Like many, he's been seeking an audience since your ascension. He won't say why, or speak to anyone but you. However, Thanaton clearly prized him. He received significant resources for his research.
Do we know anything about what he's doing on Rishi?
Vigil was designated a seeker into matters exotic and arcane. Quite a few of your researchers have this designation. Whether Vigil's work is productive or, like certain other legacy projects, mere eccentricity, is not for me to judge.
Where do I find him?
I'll send coordinates. Perhaps your archaeologist might assess Vigil's work with some insight as well.
Then you are dismissed.
My life for yours, Dark Lord.
I recall Vigil's name, but we've never met. What do you suppose he's found out here?
Darth Imperius, exalted eminence of our ways. It is my deepest honor to welcome you to Rishi. I'd begun to doubt, but I was a fool.
You sought an audience, and I have come. The Reclamation Service will observe.
On my life, I shall not disappoint. I was sent here 30 years ago, not for Rishi, but to stand on the brink of the Rishi Maze, the dwarf galaxy. Thousands of unexplored worlds just beyond the known hyperlanes. My master tasked me to monitor those dark stars.
You were appointed long before Thanaton. Who did you serve?
I followed Darth Arctis before his ascension, yet my loyalty is to the Empire.
If I may, what has your research uncovered?
I built a deep space communications array to watch, to listen, to try to contact the maze's inhabitants. And I received signals, messages. The language is ancient, contemptuous of translation. There are Sith words, Rakata, Gree. The messages contained instructions for improving, modifying the communications array. Even I don't understand what functions the machines now possess.
Whoever or whatever sent these signals must have contacted our galaxy before. What could the origin be?
An offshoot species is possible, or perhaps an artificial intellect, a lost Rakata drone in deep space.
When's the last time you received a signal?
The signals went silent some years ago, but I believe the array is now waiting for you.
Waiting for me?
The last messages said the array required one twice transmuted and reborn to the mother.
Transmuted, as I was on Balmora, and by the corruption of the Sith spirits.
And then rejuvenated by the mother machine of Belsavis. Fascinating.
Some distant species has been waiting for you, Dark Lord, whether by prophecy or biology. You could activate the array, learn its purpose.
By fate or happenstance, we're here now. I won't turn away from a mystery. I'll examine your machines. Await my return.
Yes, Dark Lord. Yes.
As they say in the service, the prudent learn, the bold are enlightened.
Genetic flux analyzed. The Tesseract is fear. Subject confirmed. The Dark Lord's lifespan increases by 1 solar cycle. Genetic decay analyzed. Redeem or destroy. Subject identified. The Dark Lord's lifespan increases by 1 solar cycle. Mother's mark analyzed. Someone must be sacrificed. Subject identified. The Dark Lord's lifespan increases by 1 solar cycle. Life-death balance recorded. Beware his desires. Subject identified. The Dark Lord's lifespan increases by 1 solar cycle.
Lord Vajal.
Was all to your satisfaction, my lord? Were the machines responsive?
The Dark Lord's lifespan increases by a solar cycle. Does that mean something to you?
Then it was real.
What was real?
Real. Arctis believed, Thanaton believed, but I doubted. I feared to offer you false hope. The machines are made to increase life expectancy, cellular rejuvenation. For anyone without your exotic past, the process would surely have failed. But for you, Dark Lord, those machines have granted you months or years, a taste of immortality.
You're saying we've just, stumbled on the secret to eternal life?
Not at all. We've only just begun. Grant me battalions to pacify this world. Grant me scientists to replicate the machines. Grant me fleets to explore the dwarf galaxy. Now we know the secret to your everlasting glory is here. We need only find it.
My lord, I have concerns about this course of action.
You are here to advise. Advise me.
The long search for immortality so often leads to ruin. You saw this with your first master. Who will count Zash among the great Sith when she squandered her power on a fruitless quest? And now, with our empire in such need of your resources...
I will remember your counsel, but I am not Zash. Lord Vejel, Moff Pyron will supply you troops as soon as possible. Keep me informed of all progress.
Yes, Dark Lord. If it requires a year and 1,000 men for each month of life you gain, it will be done.
Good. For now, I have an empire to run and crises to see to.
All glory to Darth Imperius.
All glory to you.
Son of a... Okay, so I'm a little rustier than I'd like to admit. But just a little. Felt good to be in a real scrap for once.
I'm impressed.
Flattery, huh? Oh, what the hell, I'll take it. So... You know the Blades went and partnered up with the Revanites. Means you probably know they're up to no good. We helped out the Blades to have a good relationship with Raiders Cove. We didn't sign up for the Revanites and their all-out war, so we bailed.
Can I count on you and your clan to end the Revanite threat?
No, you cannot. We're not for hire. We're not Imperial lackeys. And we're not getting involved. Give me a single target that's worth my going toe-to-toe with. That's fine. But the Revanites and their fleet of warships? Pass.
Where are these ships?
Couldn't tell you. I wouldn't mind it a bit if you chased the Revanites out of Rishi. Off the radar is just how we like it here. Good hunting to you, Sith. Jesus Mandoade! Who's up for a Skarkla hunt?
If they have more of you in their roster, I might be joining the Revanites.
You flatter me.
If their Sith Lords are anywhere near as deadly as Lana, we're in deeper trouble than when we almost became fish food on Manan.
So there's a camp for Imperial traitors and one for Republic Revanites. And they're not exactly friends. This may provide an opportunity, either to extract atonement for their deception or to employ a little deception of our own.
It's an opportunity to thin the ranks, is what it is.
Your zeal for making heads roll never ceases to surprise me, D4. Don't worry yourself, it may yet come to that.
I'll take a closer look at these Revanite camps.
And we'll attempt to establish a better grasp of their activities.
I hope we can establish where Agent Shan is being held.
As do I.
We, Rishi, would be grateful for your help around the village. If you choose to provide it, of course. Savor your travels.
Be patient, Sergeant, but be ready. As soon as we have word from Revan, our work begins.
Lord Ivris, sir. It's...
Dark Lord, how can this be? We're found out. I suppose Darth Mar sent you to fight his battle for him. Seems his usual way. No, better still. You learned about us and thought Mar could be in on it. You're here on your own. We have the upper hand.
When the Empire and the Republic come after you, do you really think it will end with the Revanites on top?
I fight for that in which I believe. Should I perish in service to Revan's goals, so be it.
You used to fight for something else you believed in. At least with the Empire, you stood a chance of having your efforts matter.
She makes an excellent point, my lord.
It does seem we've been less than a step ahead for some time now. Our position at our heels and in the shadows. You'll get no further resistance from me. I can't vouch for every last Imperial Revanite, of course, but I can speak for those present.
A wise move, Ivris.
I'm going to send out a team to look into your claims about the Republic Revanites. Could be you're onto something.
There have been reports of skirmishes in the area. I want you to stay alert for anything out of the ordinary.
Such as?
5 stars. Be ready to fire on my mark.
No, not on your mark. On mine.
You've got Ivris's people. You've turned him against the cause. Whatever you think you've accomplished, you won't stop Revan, I promise you.
Laying waste to the Empire and Republic, what does Revan hope to accomplish?
Revan wants to reshape the galaxy, to save it. That comes at a cost most find too high to pay. Not me. I'll tell you this much. They took your collaborator to a stronghold in a valley on this very island. I hope you chase after him. You won't survive. That's all. I don't have the details of Revan's plan. Even if I did, I'd never tell you.
Abandon your command. You won't be given another chance.
Okay. I'm leaving. I'm gone.
Revan.
I should have known the Empire would send one of its lapdogs to try and find me. You should never have bothered.
What have you done with Theron?
Theron Shan's fate doesn't matter. Neither does yours. I'm changing the fate of the galaxy itself.
If what you're doing is so great for the galaxy, why not work together?
I can't deny that we'd make powerful allies. But you didn't tear a path through Rishi and my Revanites to help me. The only upside in your being here, really, is that you get to bear witness. My plan's too far along for you to stop it now.
Don't listen to him. It's not over yet.
Theron, there you are.
Figured I had a lot to tell you, so I broke out. Guess I could have saved myself the trouble. Don't know how much Lana or Revan told you, but he's lured the Imperial and Republic command fleets to Rishi.
Revan wants to draw them into a fight. Try to take out the leadership.
It'll barely be a fight. Revanites embedded on both sides are going to sabotage shields, weapons, you name it. And we can't warn them. Revan had the Nova Blades build him a signal jammer. No communications at all up in Rishi space. It'll be a bloodbath.
As strategies go, you appear to have outdone yourself, Revan.
Too bad you won't be around to see the results for yourself.
This place is coming down. Soon.
You could have joined me, Theron. Understandably, you're as tenacious as I ever was. Goodbye.
Nice, I'm in. Uploading the files.
Come in. Can anyone read me?
I'm here. And you are on Rishi.
Darth Mar, you have traitors in your fleet. Scores of them, acting under orders from Revan.
Revan is alive?
He wants you to destroy each other up there.
Have the fleet powered down all weapons. Do it now.
Your people should have a list of the traitors.
Finally, an open line.
Grandmaster Sean, it appears we have been set upon each other by your ancestor.
Yes, we were notified by an agent of ours whose planet's side. We're taking measures to detain the traitors among us.
As are we. Given the nature of the threat, I suggest we speak in person.
Very well. A neutral location.
There's a pirate town on Rishi. My team will send the coordinates.
That will do. Then we are agreed. A truce. For the time being.
It would appear we've reached an accord, and without a council majority.
We both know time is too short for consultations and politics.
Satil Shan, Grand Master of the Jedi Order. Your intervention allowed us to defend ourselves against the Revanite fleet. Many thousands owe their lives to your actions.
And the all-encompassing rot of the Order of Revan has been excised from our fleets. Now we turn to the matter of Revan himself.
My agent here has discovered that Revan's on the fourth moon of Yavin, where he believes the last spark of the Sith Emperor resides.
Revan intends to return the Emperor from the brink of death, so he may finally be destroyed.
I take no issue with the Emperor's demise. He no longer holds any power over us.
Agreed, but there's more to it than that. The Emperor hungers. If restored, he would attempt to consume all life in the galaxy, and I am certain he would succeed. No one, not Revan, not the Jedi, not you, not me, would be able to stop him.
Darth Mar and I will be leading a joint strike force on Yavin 4 to put an end to Revan's plan. I hope you'll join us.
As do I, for the Empire and for the galaxy.
That went surprisingly well, I think.
Yeah, it's nice to see the Empire and Republic can work together without stabbing each other in the back.
It was the right move arranging for your capture. We've succeeded, haven't we?
Unbelievable. Where's the trust, huh? Did it go wander off someplace, or was it never there to start with?
With all that's going on around us, we have to be able to trust each other. You owe Theron an apology.
At the risk of seeming egotistical, I will not apologize for being right.
Do it.
Theron, I recognize that I betrayed your trust, and for that I'm sorry.
Isn't there anything else you wanted first?
Yes. Will that be all?
Theron, help Jakaro ready his ship for departure. Lana and I have unfinished business.
Don't have to tell me twice. Come on, Jakaro.
Some truths, they linger more than others. Like how friendship isn't easy to come by. How trust is far more rare. Theron trusted me, and I don't think he ever will again.
If he knew how painful this has been for you, he might.
That would mean letting my guard down. I don't think I could ever do that, not fully. Not with Theron. When all this is over, if we survive, we'll be back to working at cross purposes. I know there's no other way. It's like when we first met. I knew our fates were going to be intertwined completely. I've tried to maintain my poise, deny my senses. But I can't. Not anymore.
You don't have to.
It's true what they say. Patience is its own reward.
We should go now.
Yes, absolutely. I'll make sure Theron and Jakaro are ready to head to Yavin 4. Every moment wasted is a moment in Revan's favor.
There can be no mistaking it. The Emperor is on this moon. Revan is here as well. And another presence, if you wish to believe the Grand Master.
The other presence, it's unclear. The dark side permeates everything here. Saturates it. I've been to Oricon. This is another level entirely.
Oricon was affected by the Dreadmasters. Even their combined power was insignificant compared to the Emperor.
The Order of Revan is garrisoned inside an old Massassi temple. That is where the dark side is most prevalent.
We carved out an area as close to the temple as we could. The high concentrations of Massassi in these parts made it difficult.
It didn't help that you knew about the Massassi, but didn't bother to give a heads up to our recon teams.
This is no time for infighting or deception. The stakes are far too high.
Agreed. We cannot let emotion cloud our judgment. More easily said than done for some, I suppose. While Darth Mar and I have reached an accord, many of those under our command obviously don't share our sense of commitment.
If you were to assist in shoring up our position, it would serve as an example to the rest.
We can be pragmatic if we choose to. Do what you do so well out there. I'll remain in touch. Lana here. I have an opportunity for us if you're interested.
Go ahead.
There's a redundant monitoring subsystem in the equipment you're installing. You could activate the subsystem, setting it to track Republic chatter and movements.
Can we set the backup system to help the main system do its job better instead?
Yes, in theory.
Then let's do that.
Okay, I'll walk you through the steps.
Welcome. We've got a much better picture now of what's between us and the temple. First thing's the Massassi. We knew we'd be facing a lot, but now we know it's a lot.
There can be no reasoning or bargaining with the Massassi. Once we encroach upon their territory, they will attack.
That was the first thing.
The best of the Imperial Guard are trained in special facilities, honed to physical perfection and instilled with unwavering loyalty. We found one such facility between us and the temple. The Emperor must have had it constructed in secret.
And there are life forms inside. Human. Whether it's Revanites or the Emperor's Guard, they won't be looking to help us.
I'll find out who we're dealing with.
That location is of great strategic value. Make clear to its inhabitants, whomever they are, that the facility is ours now.
They're ruining everything. I see it. We see. But they don't see. They don't even have eyes. We're all that's left. We have to flush the others from this place. Only then can we wake the starving Emperor and grant him sustenance.
Identify yourselves.
Commandant Ivan, Imperial Guard, we serve the Emperor, and you're not one of them. You're meaningless, meaningless. Go away, go!
I am a Dark Lord of the Sith, and you will address me as such.
It doesn't matter who you are, even Sith. The Emperor, only the Emperor. We are food. All life was born to be his food, the glorious honor. You can't stop it. We won't let you. The Emperor must feed the Emperor.
They were Imperial guards after all.
Yes. The support team says their commandant's a raving madman. We'll want to question him. Insane or not, he'll be of use to us.
He will be fed. He will be fed.
Silence. He's raving mad, but he still has information we need to breach the temple and prevent the Emperor's return.
I would like to interview him personally. Someone in his state must be handled delicately.
Time is of the essence. A more hands-on approach is required.
As you said, Ma, he's mad, and he's a devoted fanatic. He would only become more wildly defiant under duress.
Your counsel is appreciated, and you do make a compelling point.
Bring the man to my chambers.
What's the word?
The word? How about unsettling?
According to Ivan, there's a device inside the temple they'd hoped to use to bring the Emperor back. It's a weapon designed to eradicate all living things on the moon, save for those safely inside the temple.
Oh, I should like to see that. Just imagine.
D4, button it.
The device appears to be Sith in origin. That's how the Emperor knew about it, why he chose to retreat to Yavin 4.
Ivan's team was going to activate the device, use the loss of life to restore the Emperor.
Yes, and now Revan plans to use it for the same purpose. If we can't stop him, we're all dead.
Then let's get moving.
Ivan clued us in on a series of complex locks that will get us access to the temple. They're our next objective.
Theron, Jakaro, would you mind? We won't be a moment.
Oh, sure. Don't ask C2D4.
Our lives have been on the line before, but this is different somehow. It feels more immediate, more final. So get that temple opened up and do whatever you have to do to end this.
I've never seen you like this before.
That's because I have more to fight for now. I'll be here. May the Force serve you well.
You're close. I feel it. Hurry. It's time. You've finally arrived.
Revan, but you're alive, leading the Revanites.
The brooding monster inside those temple walls. He is not Revan. He is an abomination. His obsession, his arrogance, this angry crusade, it's all blinded him to the truth. The many lives he'll sacrifice to revive the Emperor will be nothing compared to what will follow. It's within your power to stop the abomination, but you won't be able to do it alone. May the Force be with you.
The Jedi and I, we both felt it, a ripple in the Force. You had a visitor, a manifestation.
It was Revan, but not the Revan we've been after this whole time.
We both suspected that may be the case. It doesn't matter who's inside that temple. What's important is that we end his plan.
Revan wants me to succeed, but claims I can't do it on my own.
All told, the Revanites may be the fiercest adversaries we've ever faced, and this temporary alliance with the Republic is unstable at best. We must gather our forces. We must endure. The fate of not only the Empire, but the galaxy itself depends on it.
Finally, there can be trust between us, and not a moment too soon. As we speak, our forces are working with the Republic to end the Revanite threat and take the temple.
In spite of our obvious differences, and the fact we're at war, you were able to inspire a sort of cooperation I never imagined possible. Credit where it's due. You succeeded where Darth Mar and I failed.
But we aren't finished yet. There is one element even our combined militaries will be unable to stop.
Revan.
Given his failure, he'll try to escape, to regroup. That cannot be allowed to happen.
Consider it taken care of. It's over.
You've been at my heels far too long. I knew the Rishi plan was a long shot, but I had to try. Had to make it legitimate. I needed to lure you in. You were supposed to stay busy on Rishi long enough for me to finish here, but no! You couldn't do that, could you?
Something you should understand when it comes to me. I don't dawdle.
No, apparently not. I thought you more than anyone would comprehend just how much is at stake.
I spent 300 years in lockstep with the Emperor's mind. I know what he's become, what he wants. The Emperor must be destroyed completely, or he will return and consume every last living thing. There's no cost too great. If I have to snuff out every life on this world by hand to draw the Emperor out, then so be it!
If you're Revan, who spoke to me outside the temple?
Of course. It's so obvious now. You have no idea what I am, what I've become. I was a Dark Lord of the Sith. I was the prodigal knight. I was powerful, but I was also weak. Not anymore. Now I'm pure, unburdened. I can finally have revenge on my jailer and save the galaxy doing it. I have the power, and you have nothing!
You are wrong, Revan. She has powerful allies.
Both Sith and Jedi.
Allies from all corners of the galaxy.
Shay, Vizsla?
Heard the fight to end all fights was going down. What sorry kind of Mando would I be if I missed out?
You were saying?
I don't care how many of you there are. I won't be denied my destiny. I am Revan! In defeating me, you let the real enemy linger on. You doom the galaxy!
Had you been successful, had you brought the Emperor back, you would have made the galaxy's destruction all but a certainty.
She's right, you know.
No, not you.
You've been so blinded by your unchecked rage, your thirst for vengeance, that you could not see the truth. Now that your power has subsided, I may finally confront you. I only hope you will listen.
You're both Revan.
Yes, though neither of us is truly Revan. When I died, I had come to terms. I was ready to become one with the Force. But I soon realized that was only what part of me wanted.
I cast you out! It was the only way to go on, to remain and finish what we started. You were holding me back.
You think you're stronger this way, but you're not. Neither of us is. We're broken. We can't go on like this.
I won't stop. Not until I conjure the Emperor. I have to face him.
You wanted my return. You did not need to destroy whole fleets or turn a living world barren for that. You only had to point the Empire and Republic to a shared adversary and let them do what they do naturally. Make war. The scores of dead have nourished me. I am awakened, and I bring with me death.
The Emperor was not as strong as he might have been had Revan succeeded. But he was strong enough.
No! He was supposed to face me.
You're too weak. You won't last.
If we unite, what I am, won't it fade? Become diminished?
Dark Lord, even I look in awe at your accelerated rise to power. You find value in restraint, in virtue. Look at how well your way has served you. You make a fine example.
I don't know if I'm ready.
You have to be. We have to.
You have found your center.
I have. For the first time in a long time. Thank you for all you've done, and for all you've shown me. Dark days lie ahead. The darkest days. If my error can't be undone, everyone will pay the price. Brace for the worst.
So I guess this is goodbye.
I suppose so. It's been an experience, Theron. Be well to yourself.
Yeah, you too, Lana. Try not to get into too much trouble, alright? It looks like you're finally getting rid of me. How's it feel?
I have to admit that I'm going to miss you, Theron.
Same here. Guess if we ever meet again, it won't be friendly. Well, seems weird to wish you good luck, so, give my regards to the Dark Council.
And then there were two.
And then there were two. It's a wonder we're even here, considering all we've had to endure. When I was advisor to Darth Arcus, I would never have imagined any of this.
If I didn't know any better, I'd think you were feeling a bit sentimental.
It's true, you've caught me. I do tend to get wistful when change is afoot. Darth Mar has taken notice of my accomplishments. It would seem he has plans for my future. What those plans look like, I can't say. What's clear is I'll need to re-establish order in my life. That means doing away with any intricate entanglements.
It's good to see you getting some much-deserved praise.
I wouldn't have received it if not for you. You've been close to me like no other. Whatever may come to pass between us, don't ever forget that.
If this is our last moment, let's make it one to remember.
Next time you got a fight that juicy, you know how to reach me.
Good luck, you two.
Going somewhere?
We're headed back to Rishi.
Jakaro, I thought you hated that place.
Jakaro wishes to whip those sorry Raiders Cove pirates into shape. He sees a real opportunity there.
You know, you could be a valuable asset to the Empire, don't you?
Besides which, we do have numerous Imperial markers out on us throughout the galaxy. Myself more than the lug, but there it is all the same. What? Oh, you know I hate it there. That's why we're going, isn't it? Just to torture me.
Darth Mar, you wanted a word?
We suffered many casualties upon the Emperor's return, though nothing insurmountable. Nothing compared to what we would have endured had the Revanites been successful. You are to be commended, of course, but it was Lana Beniko's guile and intellect that made your participation at all possible. That is why I have placed Lana in charge of Sith intelligence.
I can't think of a better choice.
Thank you, my lord.
That will be all for now. The Empire grows ever stronger. The mining of Isotope 5 has bolstered our energy independence, and we're free from concern over the threat of Revan and his followers.
That's only part of the story.
Yes, our momentary truce is over. We remain at war with an emboldened republic, and we still have countless enemies, both seen and unseen. Political deceit is to be expected, but we have had a full-blown traitor in our midst. Darth Arcus has fostered a new level of mistrust among us. You serve the Empire in your own way, Darth Imperius. But you are the only counselor I can trust to be truly in service to the Empire.
I am the only one you need to trust. The rest can be kept in check.
Agreed. The Empire is whole once more. It grows and strengthens. Our obstacles are severe, but they are known to us. The galaxy is ours to grasp. Let us reach!
Reach out with your emotions. Let them guide you. Yes, that's it. Ashara, tell me, what did you see?
It was you. You were in a jungle. Roots and vines, they took you, bound you, and then you were torn apart.
You saw the future. One of many possible futures, but a probable one at the very least.
Then I heard a voice. A woman, she reached out to me through the Force. She told me you had to go to Rishi.
Rishi? You said Rishi? Rishi's been coming up on the Navicomputer. Thought it was some kind of glitch. Nothing out there but my kind of people.
That is no glitch. It is a message.
Let me guess. You're thinking of walking straight into a trap.
Perhaps it is a trap. What of it? Tell the crew there's been a change of schedule. I should very much like to visit this Rishi.
No, this won't be a challenge at all. Not for me.
Chunky faguta geopora geotokakise. Makipuna male tutta.
You see before you a dark counselor of the Sith Empire. I should demand that you kneel. Instead, all I ask is that you give me the information I seek. Who is responsible for this ludicrous charade?
Everyone's talking about you. Couldn't tell you how it all got started, but I can tell you who gave Goro the idea to come after you.
Don't do it, Karina. You know what Margok would say about ratting out a resident.
If Margok ever pays the tab all you Nova Blades have run up, then maybe I'll start to care what he thinks. Guy you want is Kai Zykan, leader of the Corellian-run scoundrels. A real gem. Goro said Zykan owes you a pile of credits. He hired Goro to take you out for a fraction of what it would cost to pay you.
Where do I find him?
Beats me. It's not like I hang out with the guy. Ask Zykan's crew. They're all over Raiders Cove. Like stinkflies.
Thanks for the tip. What are you doing later?
Cleaning up this mess, serving drinks, getting 2 seconds sleep, then serving some more. Sweet for asking, though. See ya, Goro. Hope your brother doesn't decide this was my fault.